Thank you for calling King County 211.
I can't afford my rent.
How much is your monthly rent?
I need some help.
What if you couldn't pay your rent? What if you were hungry or homeless or just needed a ride to the doctor? Every day in our community, hundreds of people are in crisis, and the place they turn to is 211.
Thank you for calling King County 211. My name is Gabriel. How can I help you?
It's anywhere from probably 300 to 600 calls. There have been days actually where we've taken closer to 1,000 calls.
The calls flood in to one central hub in Seattle.
And you said you've called us before?
Information specialists listen to callers' needs, then refer them to local social service agencies. Unfortunately, many people still don't know that 211 exists.
It is one of the best kept secrets around. I'm always amazed at the fact that when I mention that to folks, they have no idea. They know 911, but they don't know 211.
State Representative Larry Springer, a strong advocate of 211, says the stats prove the need.
The numbers are actually staggering. I think last year in King County alone, there was 105,000 calls, 281,000 referrals. 97% of them were from people at poverty or below.
Rent assistance, utility assistance, shelter, food, and legal is probably the highest needs.
Well, it's frontline work, so it's very challenging.
Troy Tatey and other 211 operators say that most calls are businesslike and straightforward, but some can be quite stressful.
Someone loses their home or is at risk of losing their home, they're not having their best day. They're going to usually be pretty upset. And so when they call us, they're oftentimes desperate, and they can be angry, they can feel helpless, they can feel hopeless.
Gracias por llamar al 211 del condado. Sometimes, people are really emotionally charged. They're dealing with trying to find, ends meet for the month, staying in their homes, paying for utilities, and all of that builds up.
We have about 24 staff, 25 staff, and sometimes we just can't keep up.
At the same time that state support for 211 has declined by 60% over the last few years, the call volume has doubled.
State budget cuts have hit hard, closing call centers all across the state. Calls from rural Washington are now funneled to King County, and the lines that once operated 24/7 here are now only open on weekdays.
The Seattle Public Library.
Most folks hear about 211 through word of mouth.
My name's Earl Zanders.
That's how Earl found out about it. The single father of two dialed up in desperate straits.
I done called those guys for food, actually. When you get to that point right there, it's like a real high level of stress, you know what I'm saying? And it can actually become overwhelming.
211 operators referred Earl to St. Vincent de Paul.
St. Vincent de Paul, this is Tanika. How can I help you?
Out of 1,700 local social service agencies, St. Vincent de Paul gets the most referrals of all. That's because the charity offers so many different types of assistance. They gave Earl food vouchers and helped him with a late water bill.
I really appreciate those guys, seriously. Oh man, they step up to the plate, and I'm that type of man that's just, I'm really appreciative, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Many of our programs rely heavily on 211.
Kira Zylstrom of Seattle's Solid Ground says about half their clients come through 211 referrals. They serve 50,000 impoverished families every year.
Without a one-stop place to contact, there could be the need to call people 10 times a day and just keep going from agency to agency trying to find the right place, when 211 allows for people to reach the right place the first time.
And a delay in getting help could mean a night on the streets, days without a meal, or eviction.
Have you ever heard of transitional housing before?
I know that a lot of people look at our job and they think, wow, that's really stressful. You're dealing with a lot of people who are dealing with a lot of challenges in their lives, and that is true. But it's important not to take that part home with you. I think what's important to know is that you're making a difference.
In a world of automated impersonal phone service, 211 is one of the few places where another human being will actually pick up the line. And that connection can make all the difference.
We really help people's lives, and it's a vital service.
You can call 211 And there's somebody over there that will help you figure it out. I guarantee it is. I guarantee it.
Watch CityStream Thursday nights at 7 on the Seattle channel, or get video on demand and podcasts anytime at seattlechannel.org.